Thank you very much, Jafar. There's an apocryphal story that a man is sitting at his desk at work and he's kissing a piece of paper. So his co-worker said, "What are you doing?" He said, "Oh, it's a letter from my wife, I'm kissing it." So the man said, "What letter? This is a blank piece of paper." He said, yes, we are not on talking terms these days." Point of telling you this story is that after that beautiful introduction, even if I have a blank piece of paper, I think you will have to just be forced to like me. I would like to begin by first of all congratulating IMI on this fabulous occasion. 25 years of service. Thank you, Vaji. Thank you, Sakina Rizvi. Thank you, Huma. Thank you to all of IMI for giving me the opportunity to speak on this auspicious day. May you continue to thrive into the future, and may you continue to serve your community with deeper sensitivity and humility, the way you have been doing. I was invited by Sakina Rizvi to speak and Vaji Rizvi to speak. And when they ask me something, my only response is, "Qasid nahi ye kaam tera, apni raah le, unka payam dil ke siwa kaun la sake." They invite from the heart, and so it is impossible to refuse them. But when I asked Sakina what she would like me to speak about, I got a very sweet response. "Azrapa, please use all the good things you say, and especially Urdu poetry, to just tell us something nice." Well, what could be better for me? As you know, poetry uses the most gorgeous of languages to express intense emotions and to convey profound ideas to us in very few words. I'm particularly an admirer of Urdu poetry because our poets manage to impart the most solemn, the most thoughtful lessons using very subtle intimations, even in that most romantic of all poetry, which is the lyrical ghazal. A single sher in a ghazal can convey an ocean of meanings. So I will use one Ghalib sher to introduce my theme tonight. काविश का दिल करे है तकाजा के है हनोज, काविश का दिल करे है तकाजा के है हनोज, नाखुन पे कर्ज उस गिरहे नीम बाज का. I'll translate it for my younger friends. The heart demands greater exertion, yet there is a half undone knot remaining in the universe, which simply means that Ghalib is telling us that the purpose of life should be to continuously work hard as long as there is even one half a knot left undone. You have to continue because you owe a debt to your nails to go ahead and try and undo that knot. This fabulous lesson is taken by Allama Iqbal in a completely different direction. खुर्शीद जहाँ ताब की ज़ौ तेरे शरर में, आबाद है एक ताज़ा जहाँ तेरे हुनर में, जचते नहीं बख्शे हुए फिरदौस नज़र में, और जन्नत तेरी पिन्हा है तेरे खून जिगर में। ए पै करे गिल कोशिश पहम की जज़ा देख, खोल आँख ज़मी देख, फलक देख, फिज़ा देख। Meaning, we cannot accept even paradise, even Jannat, if it is handed to us on a platter, unless it is properly earned. My Jannat lies in my hard work. What I make of my life through my blood, sweat and tears. With these two shares as a background, I will now continue to divine the lines of Agha Hashar Kashmiri. I'm going to recite such a romantic ghazal for you, but every sher has a profound message for us behind it. Many of you have heard this ghazal through Farida Khanam. Sue मैं कदा न जाते तो कुछ और बात होती, वो निगाह से पिलाते तो कुछ और बात होती। गो हवाए गुलसिता ने मेरे दिल की लाज रख ली। You wonder where he is going with the second line. गो हवाए गुलसिता ने मेरे दिल की लाज रख ली, वो नकाब खुद उठाते तो कुछ और बात होती। It is the intentionality that matters, the sense of agency, the freedom to act in a way we want. I am the master of my fate, the captain of my soul. This is what the poet is telling you in this deeply, deeply romantic ghazal. The next sher is, ये बजा कली ने खिलकर किया गुल सिता मौतर, मगर आप मुस्कुराते तो कुछ और बात होती। ये खुली खुली सी जुल्फ़ें इन्हें लाख तू संवारे, मेरे हाथ से संवरते तो कुछ और बात होती। And the last sher is so beautiful, and for this last sher am I reading this entire ghazal. गो हरम के रास्ते से वो पहुंच गए खुदा तक. Haram here doesn't simply means a sacred house of worship. Here it means through rituals. Man goes to temples and mosques and churches, and through these rituals tries to reach God. And yes, they may have reached God through performing all of this. गो हरम के रास्ते से वो पहुंच गए खुदा तक, तेरी रह गुजर से जाते तो कुछ और बात होती. How beautiful is that? Had they gone through your lane, your gully, your way, that would have been the real meaning. So what is Agha Hashar Kashmiri really saying in this sher? His profound message is that to reach God, you must walk the walk that will be filled with slings and arrows, yet you must remain totally focused on the path you have chosen. And once you find that path in which you have sighted the object of desire, then what happens? Nazare ko to jumbishe mijga bhi bar hai. Once your eyesight is focused on something that you love, then even the blinking of the eye is something you can't tolerate. Nazare ko to jumbishe mijga bhi bar hai, नरगिस की आँख से तुझे देखा करे कोई. So the question I'm going to ask you now is, what is this path? What is this rehguzar? What makes us happy? I am an oncologist, and I have learned one very hard lesson, which is that we don't know the first things about our bodies. We can have a cancer growing inside us and we have no idea it's growing until it reaches stage 4. And then you suddenly get diagnosed. And the same way, we really have no idea about what actually makes us happy. Is it a new car, a bigger house, a better vacation, a large bank balance? We don't know which one of these, if any, will make us happy. There is a Harvard study that recently was published which followed teenagers from the time they were teenagers until they turned 70 in their 8th decade of life. And you know what they found? What mattered most to these people, what made them really, really happy? It was not a bank balance or a bigger car or a bigger house or wealth. It was actually relationships. And not just the quantity of relationships, but the quality, the depth of relationships. So I ask you, what have you done to travel better on this Rah Guzar of love and relationships? Are you doing everything you can to build deeper, more loving, more satisfying relationships with everyone you come in contact with? We are very good at giving advice to other people. But as Ghalib has said, ये कहाँ की दोस्ती है कि बने हैं दोस्त ना से? कोई चारासाज होता, कोई गम गुसार होता. Why do we keep giving advice to other people? It reminds me of a story. There's a man standing outside and smoking. So his friend comes by and he goes, "Oh, you smoke? How long have you been smoking for?" He said, 30 years. Guy goes, "Really? How much do you smoke?" He says, "A pack a day." For 30 years you've been smoking a pack a day. Think about it. If you had saved all that money with 8% interest rate, today you would have $250,000. You would own a Ferrari. So the smoker said, "Ah, really? Do you smoke?" Guy said, "No." He said, "Oh, where's your Ferrari then?" Point I'm making is we are very good at telling other people what to do. But what we have to do is to stop trying to get our goodness all over other people. Just stop and try to become better yourself. Hoping to rescue other people is futile. What you need is radical self-care. Help yourself. We know junk food is very bad for our bodies. You know what is the junk food for the mind? Junk food for the mind is negative thoughts. So the first thing you need to change is stop having any negative thoughts. Change your mindset. A mindset change can do tremendous things for you. And once again, I'll tell you a small story. This woman was traveling from New York to London, so she arrived at JFK a little early. In fact, a few hours early. So she bought the New York Times, she bought a bag of cookies, and she sat down at a seat and opened her paper to read, and she took a cookie. And as she ate, she saw that the guy sitting next to her also took one of the cookies and ate. She was shocked. She stared at him and then took another cookie. The guy smiled at her and took another cookie and ate. So she got very irritated that what is going on here? Suddenly there was only one cookie left, and before she could take it, he grabbed it, broke it into two, smiled at her and offered her half. Now she had had enough. She was so irritated by this that she stamped her feet, got up, gave him a dirty look and walked off. As she was walking off, he waved goodbye to her very sweetly. She was really angry now. Her mind was blown. She's very upset. She goes, sits down at another seat and opens her bag to take out the paper. And guess what she finds? Her own bag of cookies. And suddenly, the whole mindset has changed now. She's feeling so embarrassed, so ashamed that all the time she had been eating the man's cookies and he was being so sweet to her throughout. This is a very famous story. Everyone, I'm sure many of you might have even heard it before, but it's a story that really underscores the point I'm trying to make, which is that just when your mind can flip immediately. So I want you to start exercising your mind for positive thinking. Our brain is the most expensive real estate on earth. Why do I say it? Because it occupies 2% of our body and uses up 20% of the resources and energies in the body. It is very hard to nourish it. When is the last time you asked yourself, what are you doing to nourish your brain? My advice to the young people especially is please start reading. Read something every day. Even for 20 minutes a day means you will finish 1 book a week, 50 books a year. Wow. Our great Imam Ali emphasized a rational mind, a sound morality, and equally importantly, an aesthetic sensibility. How beautiful. Appreciation of good things, beauty, jamal, husn, ihsan, virtue. True knowledge is the self-discovery, to hear your own inner voice and opening to joy through emulating the most beautiful of virtues. Cultivate these traits inside you. Love, kindness, courtesy, generosity, modesty, forbearance, hilm, contentment. Above all, what you need is positive reinforcement. Make sure that you are giving encouragement to the young people. And this will be my last story and then I'll shut up. One day, Thomas Edison, when he was a young boy, came home and gave a paper to his mother saying, "My teacher has sent this for you." His mother opened it, read it, she had tears in her eyes. He asked her, "What does it say?" She said, "Well, it says, your son is a genius, but unfortunately, this school is too small for him. We don't have enough resources and good teachers to train him. Please teach him yourself." So she kept him home from that day and taught him herself. After many years, Edison's mother died. And as you know, he became one of the greatest inventors that this planet has known. Well, one day after she was dead, while Thomas was looking into old family things, he came across a folded piece of paper in the corner of his mother's desk drawer. He took it out and opened it. And you know what it said? "Your son seems to be mentally ill. We will not let him come to school anymore." This is what it had actually said. After reading this, Edison broke out crying and wrote in his diary, Thomas Edison was a mentally ill child who, because of a heroic mother, became the genius of the century. So the moral is, we need confidence, we need a positive attitude and hard work to lead a meaningful life. I come from a generation when my parents didn't just tell me, "Darling, you can do anything you want, you can become anything you want." No, what they said is, first work very, very hard, then we'll see. Again, I'll end with our great Imam Ali. The Imam says, the fruit of a good action. The fruit of a good action is like its root. Ponder over this profound saying of the Imam. What he's saying is that the end is already present in the means leading up to it. So goodness does not just lead to a reward in heaven. Goodness is a reward here and now. And even a good intention is a reward in its own way. So now I end with coming back to the full circle, the idea that we started with, the kuch aur baat hoti idea. You need to undertake deliberate actions of goodness. Use agency. Use your own free will to become the best versions of yourself possible. Then and only then will you have the confidence to take on the world, to begin seemingly impossible projects, to stand up to oppression, to speak up for the just and righteous cause, to protect the women, to nourish the children, to dream of the stars, and with more and more strength and moral certitude that is provided to you by our great Imams, I urge all of you to start the best days of your lives today by pledging to work even harder than ever before, taking care of yourself first, then your family, then your community, and then you will always be able to go for the stars. You will not be afraid to undertake the biggest challenges, even though कुछ लोग तुम्हें समझाएंगे, वो तुमको खौफ दिलाएंगे, जो है वो भी खो सकता है। कुछ लोग तुम्हें समझाएंगे, वो तुमको खौफ दिलाएंगे, जो है वो भी खो सकता है। इस राह में रहज़न हैं इतने, कुछ और यहाँ हो सकता है। रहज़न, रॉबर्स, हाईवे रॉबर्स। कुछ लोग तुम्हें समझाएंगे, वो तुमको खौफ दिलाएंगे, जो है वो भी खो सकता है। इस राह में रहज़न हैं इतने, कुछ और यहाँ हो सकता है। अरे कुछ और तो अक्सर होता है, पर तुम जिस लम्हे में ज़िंदा हो, ये लम्हा तुमसे ज़िंदा है। ये वक्त नहीं फिर आएगा, तुम अपनी करनी कर गुज़रो, जो होगा देखा जाएगा।